Okay. Very good morning to one and all. So, welcome to the IFBIC Talk Show. So, today we are having our fifth guest, fifth member, and fifth speaker. She is none other than Miss Rimjhim Mukherjee.
Good morning.
She is none other than alumni of IIM Lucknow, Rimjhim Mukherjee, ma'am. She is a strategic sales evangelist with almost 1.5 decades of multi-domain experience, specializing in growth, enablement, and business expansion across sectors like FMCG, healthcare, retail, and education. Rimjhim consults and moderate on business expansion through franchising and distribution, partner channels, partnerships, and joint ventures. She has led and now handle ticket size of $1 million and above. In her current role, she handles the entire business portfolio of product sales and franchise expansions. Humbled to have been felicitated with Chairman Award for outstanding contribution to sales, Best Performer Award for 2 consecutive years for business development revenue. Classically trained singer and dancer, also she is crazily passionate about creating and writing. She has taken on the entrepreneurial journey of providing her services toward content writing and brand building successfully since the past 8 months under the aegis of Rimjhim Rants. Besides having mentored about 600 women and enthusiastic sales personnel driven by the motive of making a difference in the corporate ecosystem for women, she also served in the capacity of program leader on Iron Lady, State President Wiki for Sales and BD Council's Delhi chapter, sales mentors at Sales Women Training, guest lecture AICTE, General Manager, Business Expansion, DHI Global Medical Group. Her earlier notable association was with Franchises India as their Vice President Business Development. Apart from that, she is having Global 50 Glory Awards 2021, Vasmi Business Consultant of the Year, Growth Enablement Specialist, Business Development Expert, Leadership Trainer, Sales Coach, Content and Brand Communication Strategist. So welcome, ma'am. So this was the intro we are having with you, and the stage is yours. Kindly introduce yourself and take the session ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amreshji, for inviting me to this platform. And I think you've given the entire introduction, so I don't really know what to say now. But yeah, just to give a quick intro for people who do not know me and for everybody who's watching us on Facebook right now. I am a hardcore saleswoman. I bring money into the organization. I understand revenues. I understand money. I understand targets. That's what I've been doing in the last 15 years. This is Rimjhim Mukherjee, a strategic sales evangelist. I call myself strategic because I love to focus on the strategy of business development rather than hardcore targets. I love devising strategies on growth enablement. I love devising strategies on business expansion plans for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years and stuff. And my core forte lies in communication with the senior influencers in the organization, the CXO level. I started out my journey as a very humble inside sales professional in IT. I have, over the years of 15 years, I have explored about 4 different domains, switched from 8 years into IT. Then I moved into mass media and communication. I also explored the ventures of advertising until I finally found my true calling in business consultancy. And business consultancy for me holds a very special place in my heart because it is a very responsible position where you consult somebody on their hard-earned money and investing that into some business. So it's a very responsible position. You cannot go wrong there. Somebody is investing their entire life's savings into some business. And if you manage to give the wrong advice, then that entire savings goes for a doom. So it's an extremely interesting as well as a very, very responsible and a very, very accountable position. But having interacted with different sectors, having explored different sectors in my journey, I found that extremely interesting because I had a flavor of different industries in my entire career span. So having that flavor enabled me to be able to help the investors make an informed decision into what they should be investing in, which business is the right business, looking at the current trends. We've all seen the pandemic hitting the businesses like anything in the last 2 years. And we've seen a big shift from businesses which were conventional, which were doing outstanding pre-COVID, they absolutely shut down. If you take the examples of big restaurants, if you take the examples of schools, if you take the examples of preschools, if you take the examples of high luxury retail, all of them shut down. Your major brands were letting go of your mall outlets and high rental places, right? So these took a hit, whereas these were the businesses that were doing phenomenally well before COVID. Ever since the COVID started, you see edutech took a boom like anything. The various edutech businesses, they started exponential growth. So there has been a 360-degree shift in what was working before COVID and what was working after COVID. And there the job of a business consultant becomes extremely, extremely important and responsible to be helping the audience, to help the investors to make the right business decision. And I think I have, in my 15 years, the last 3 years are the ones that I've enjoyed the maximum, because that has been an immense learning curve for me. And it has also put me across different geographies and different entrepreneurs and different mindsets of entrepreneurs. So yeah, I mean, that has been more of my career journey. If I talk about myself as a personality, I'm more of an explorator. I call myself an explorator. I do not like stagnancy in my life. I keep wanting to explore new things, try out new ventures, try out new arenas. And that led me to start my own entrepreneurial business as well, along with my main job. I started a venture called Rimjhim Rants, which focuses primarily on giving brand building and content services to startups. So if you've seen in the last 2 years, marketing and particularly digital marketing and communication has taken a big boom. So marketing is primarily channeled on the content that you give out in the media. If any of you is a Zomato user, then you are sure you get those Zomato notifications every day, very interesting notifications, very interesting jokes and stuff like that on your mobile app every single day. So Zomato has kind of aced the marketing game. And that is what my niche area is, into creating interesting content to generate brand awareness for different brands on social media. So that is what I do from my entrepreneurial standpoint. I also do ghostwriting. For those who do not know what ghostwriting is, it is basically primarily handling some big influencer or some big personalities, social media profiles. So there are a lot of MDs and CEOs who do not have the time to manage their own social media profiles, or who do not have the time to regularly generate content. So they hire ghostwriters. So what I do as ghostwriter is I handle the profiles of 3 MDs. Can I admit there is somebody called Manish Agarwal in the room?
Yeah, I'm admitting everyone.
Okay, all right. So there are lots of MDs, as I said, and what I do as a ghostwriter is I take over their entire social media handle and post content on their behalf. So that in itself is becoming a very interesting stream that people are following these days. You find lots and lots of freelance storytellers, freelance content writers, and it is becoming a very big gig economy in itself. So that is one of the one more thing that I do. My core area lies in franchising and distribution. So I am very capable and at the same time very intrigued to explore the concepts, new concepts of franchising, different kinds of business model, designing different kinds of financial projections, and ensuring that the brand compliances are met in those franchisees. Franchising and distribution side by side. So these are some of my gamut areas. Apart from this, as a hobby, I am extremely active on social media with my own writings. I love to speak on women empowerment issues. I love to speak on business leadership. I love to speak on thought mindset transformation. So I write and I try and engage in as many public engagements as possible, so that more and more people are affected as a mass by my writings or by my public engagement talks. So that is pretty much in nutshell about me. If there is anything specific that the audience wants to know, I would be more than happy to answer their questions.
So the first question is from my side itself.
Sure, sure.
Recently, we have received too many, startups who are looking for the fundings.
Yes.
Actually, they don't have the idea about that, how much fund they need,
Correct.
how to pitch up their projects to the investors. And the people who are capable of doing extremely well, even they don't have idea or smart idea of pitching up their project.
Right.
So just I want to know through you that you are having a very good experience in this field, and how you can support them and how they can approach you, and how you can bring funds for them. So that is the thing we are looking for.
So see, there are two aspects to funding, raising funding as a startup. Number one, whenever somebody does, so in my work at Franchise India, I have worked with many startups who were looking at the expansion mode. And in expansion, there are two ways to raise money. Either you go the franchising route where the franchisee invests and your brand propagates, or else you raise fund and then you decide what you want to do with that money. So in this hardcore funding criteria where startups are looking for funding these days, first and foremost thing to make them understand is that funding may sound very lucrative. It may sound very interesting that, you pitch to an investor and the investor gives you money. But one of the major drawbacks that nobody talks about funding is that if you have a super smart idea and you just run after money, you end up diluting a major portion of your equity because you've not stood anywhere. Your concept has not grown anywhere. So obviously when the investor invests money, they take away a huge chunk of your equity. Now, what happens when that equity is taken away? Number one, the investor gets a say into how your business works, right? Now, your original idea starts getting diluted slowly by the investor's mindset, because I am the one. If I am an investor, I would like to have my own say since I put in money. Second thing is, tomorrow when, let's say, some startup is valuated at 4 crore business model, and they raised money. Tomorrow, probably in a year's time or in 2 years' time, that valuation goes from 4 to 20 crores. Okay, 4 crores may, let's say, the investor takes away an equity of 50% or 40% from you. So you end up diluting 1.5 or 2 CR of that 4 crore valuation. And when that happens, and when that valuation reaches at 20, you end up losing 5 times of the amount. So out of 20 CR, while your valuation has raised to 20, only about 10 CR or 11 CR is yours. You end up diluting 8 CR to the investors, which, had you been a bootstrapped organization, you could have very easily been able to manage the resources, losing little of equity and working towards creating a bigger valuation for yourself. So that is one of the major drawbacks which people do not talk about. And me as a business consultant, I would love to talk to such startups that you have empaneled in your forum. And I would love to have them, give them a guidance into whether they need the funding absolutely, or whether it is just a fad, just because every startup out there is going for funding. So you are also running the funding mode. So that is first, the consultancy about whether your startup really needs funding or not. Second is, if the funding is needed, let's assume we come to a conclusion that the funding is needed, then should you be going for debt funding or equity funding? Debt funding is any day better than equity funding, right? If you can manage the financial projections around it, then any day debt is better than equity, because equity means losing out your own stake in your own organization. We all saw, it is in public space, we all saw what happened to Ashneer Grover from Bharat Pay. We all saw that. He is probably the godfather of marketing, fintech payments in India. But we all saw what happened. And that is the power that investors bring with themselves when you dilute too much equity. So this is the consultancy that I can probably give, Amresh. And going forward, of course, if somebody needs me to look at their financial model, look at their financial projections, see whether this is a viable business model, and connect them with my circle of VCs and investors and HNIs, I would be more than happy to do that.
So Samir Kaila sir is having the question here, raise the hand. So please, sir.
Sure. Yeah, hi, good morning, Rimjhim ma'am. How are you?
I'm absolutely fine, top of the world.
Thank you for the enlightening the audience. I have a small question. Since you have
Samir sir,
yeah.
Sorry for interruption. Can you introduce yourself for 2 minutes?
Okay, fine. See, I am into financial advisory. So we help the audience and the customers invest their money into equities, mutual funds, and various asset classes, right?
Right.
So
you should have met me earlier. I just finalized a portfolio manager for myself. I would have finalized you.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay.
कोई बात नहीं. आपने किया है ना, वो important है.
हाँ, correct. Absolutely.
क्योंकि 90% लोग अपने दिमाग से काम करते हैं और वहाँ पे they'll end up
True.
in soup, right? So my question to you, ma'am, is that since you have been with Franchise India and all, so if let's say if for an example, let me talk about my brand. If I want to expand, for example, so can I how to go about it?
So for your kind of brand, which focuses on giving financial advisory and managing the portfolios of people, the best way for you is not the franchise route, not the distribution route. Best way for you is business partner allocation or affiliate partners allocation across India, wherever your geographies are. Franchisee will not work for you. Franchisee has a typical structure of either being a brick and mortar structure or some kind of product that you will give to them and they will sell, and then there's a profit margin ratio that you and the franchise partner share. With you, it is not that. For you, the only thing that a business partner will bring to the table is more clients. I'm assuming that is my right observation. So you need people who have access to such HNIs, BNIs, who have access to a network of people who need portfolio managed services. They can act as your business partners and you can do some kind of a profit sharing with them. Now, how do you go about it? Just send out a digital marketing campaign, simple digital marketing campaign on Facebook. A simple form asking for invitation to be a business partner for Dhan creators without any franchise fee payment. Earn as you grow. Simple earn while you grow model, right? Let the interest come. Speak to them. You filter the people and speak to them about the kind of network that they have. Which geographies are good for them? What kind of network do they have? What is the average CTC of the people that they are connected with, that they will bring to the table? Because that will give you an estimation of the kind of business that you can get from that particular person. And once you are certain that, yeah, this person is the right person for me, then you sign a one-pager letter of intent, not a very big agreement or anything, just a one-pager letter of intent. It's a 1-year association or a 2-year association. This is going to be the profit share. Just go ahead with it. Affiliate partnership. Affiliate partnership will build. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. And where are you based out at?
I'm based out of New Delhi.
New Delhi, fine. So how can we connect? Maybe I would like to have a Zoom session with you. Maybe.
Sure. So before I leave, I will leave my credentials in the chat box for people to click.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for your guidance. Thank you.
No problem.
Even I will connect.
Rimjhim is absolutely fine with me. It's not ma'am. Rimjhim is super good.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. All right.
Even I will connect you all with each other because that is what we have been doing.
Correct.
So recently we have seen good activities through Sudhir Rawal. So Sudhir Rawal sir, if you have any questions, so you can raise your question. Sudhir Rawal sir, are you there?
Not exactly right now.
She will be a very good connect for you. So I will be connecting you with her as well. Aditya Gupta ji, he has raised a hand. So Aditya Gupta ji, please ask your question.
Yeah, hello everyone. Hi Rimjhim.
Hi.
Rimjhim, I am Aditya, also based out of Delhi, Dwarka.
Oh, wonderful.
And by profession, I am a CA.
Oh, wonderful.
In short, I did my CA in 2004. Then for 9 years, I was working with KPMG and Grant Thornton.
Oh.
Then 6 years with a listed company as a financial controller, internal auditor, process manager.
Brilliant.
Process auditor. Then last year, I started my own consulting. And my forte is again, one is into process consulting sort of thing. since you have worked on ITC and the big shots, you understand the relevance of process.
Absolutely.
So all the processes within the organization, from the compliance perspective, from the reporting perspective, you look into. Law per se, we need internal audits only when your turnover is more than 200 CR and you are into a debt of 50 lakh, 50 crores or a listed company. Other than that, I also help people in debt funding.
Okay.
I categorically say debt funding because, as you rightly said, equity funding is not an easy cup of tea. I tried it for a couple of my clients.
Absolutely.
Despite the fact that I am still convinced with their proposal about the concept, it failed. Right. So I help out people in debt funding. You can say somebody else having a running company and looking for an expansion, looking for debt from the banks. So there we get into picture, making projections, liaising with the banks.
Correct.
So you also do this thing?
I create financial projections, yes.
So you create financial projections. We also get it done from some, you can say.
You can get it done from a financial consultant. Correct. So see, what I do is I act as an intermediary between the VCs who are looking for nice opportunities, VCs, angel investors, HNIs, and startups who are looking out for funding. So I act as an intermediary platform between the two.
So is it venture capitalist or do you have renowned funding houses as well with you?
So it's a portfolio. It's an entire portfolio. Some renowned people, some angel investors, some VCs, all of that. It's a portfolio that we manage. So I was exposed, 80% of that portfolio I was exposed to when I was working with Franchise India. But after that, being active on LinkedIn, there was a lot of people that I networked, like we have the IFBIC community. There are other communities that I'm a part of. So there also such people, such communication, such networking started happening. And now that portfolio has grown.
So at present, you are into consultancy only or you are into job as well?
No, I am a hardcore job person. I work with the DHI Global Medical Group. It's an MNC based out of Greece. And I look at their India international business expansion by franchisee, and very recently they've launched their product chain. So I'm looking at their product fitment across the globe, right? But other than that, this is you can call it as my side hustle, or this is what my passion is. So I am not one of those people who has courage like you to let go of a very high fat paying job and start your own business. I need that salary credited to me at the end of the month on the first or second. So I have not got the courage yet to let go of that and start my consultancy. But so I manage both the things together. That's how my work happens.
So one more thing, let's say somebody is already into franchisee model, right?
Okay.
And also wants to expand further. They are into, you can say, restaurant business. So would you be a help to them in getting the right connects in cities? Like they already have few outlets in Delhi and.
So they are looking at expansion of the outlets in other geographies?
Yes. That is under the franchisee model.
Yeah. That's what my work is.
Okay, I will connect to you.
That's what my work is. Yeah, absolutely.
I will connect to you because a couple of my friends are looking for equity funding. Let me ask them if they are still on. I will share that profile with you.
Sure. No problem at all.
So where are you in Delhi?
I put up in Mukherjee Nagar.
Okay, that's
not right. Campus. Not campus. Yeah.
Mukherjee Nagar near Khalsa and SRCC, na?
Correct. So that is not campus. Mukherjee Nagar is a little on the outskirts of North Campus.
Right. Let's meet once if possible in Delhi.
Sure. More than happy to network. No problem.
So any further question?
Aditya ji, where are you based out at?
I'm based out of Delhi.
Delhi kahan pe?
Delhi, Dwarka.
Okay, I'm in Janakpuri.
Oh, all Delhi crowd here.
All Delhi here only. Okay. See, जो आपने बोला था ना कि most of the people go into, you can say, investments without hiring the fund manager. That's a big problem. In fact, initially I did the same thing, considering that I am a CA and I have understanding I lost money. Right.
Sir, अगर आपके साथ ऐसा हो सकता है तो आम पब्लिक के साथ तो क्या ही हो रहा हो?
No, this is very much needed. When I hired the portfolio manager about 2 months back, see, मेरा ऐसा नहीं था कि मैं खुद करती थी, Sameer ji. It's not like I was doing on my own. It's just that I didn't know who to trust, because it is a question of trust, no, whether that person is asking me to invest in that particular thing because it is good for me or because it is giving good returns to him. So all of those questions, it's very difficult to trust somebody with your portfolio that they would be doing it out of the interest of, out of my interest. But then when I explored, so this was all in my mind, ki aisa karte honge log, people are not to be trusted. When I started exploring people that, you know, let me see what portfolio managers do. That is when I got to know that they're not earning from me. They are earning from the banks through which they get the portfolios managed. So that,
from where they open their trading accounts,
correct,
they get a cut out of the brokerage.
Amresh, so, can I share one narration with your permission? जो कल हुआ है मेरे साथ, क्या मैं share कर सकता हूँ?
Sure, why not?
कल मेरे पास एक इन्वेस्टर का फोन आता है. He's an old investor of mine. What he says was कि समीर, मेरे पास ना 1 साल के लिए 50 लाख रुपया है, मैं कहाँ इन्वेस्ट करूँ? मैंने कहा सर शांति से एफडी कर दो. He was shocked. कहता शांति से एफडी कर दूं? कहता मतलब क्या ना इक्विटी ना डेट. मैंने कहा सर देखो, 2 चीजें हैं. इक्विटी इस वक्त अगले 1 साल से 1.5 साल के लिए वॉलेटाइल रहेगा, गोइंग थ्रू दिस यूक्रेन रशिया क्राइसिस. कब खत्म होता है वी डोंट नो. और ऑयल इज अ बिग डेंट टू इंडिया सिंस वी आर 80% importing, right? Globally, interest rates have started going up, which will give hit to debt funds also, right? We have to be very, very careful on that. So point is, कि पैसा डालें तो कहाँ डालें, और कोई ऑप्शन क्या है डालने के लिए? तो शांति से 1 साल के लिए एफडी कर. And let me tell you, he was so happy. कहता है क्या बोल रहा है तू? मैंने कहा हाँ सर बिल्कुल सही बोल रहा हूँ. चुपचाप एफडी कर दो, पैसा टूटेगा नहीं. हाँ, आपका पैसा अगर 2 साल 3 साल के लिए है, तब मैं आपको गाइड कर सकता हूँ कि आप कहाँ इन्वेस्ट करो.
Correct. No, that makes sense. And that's, see, my portfolio manager told me one thing that, you know, madam, if you see your portfolio going in red, आपको घबराना नहीं है. Because what people do is they get scared and they stop making those SIP payments. So I was very clear that I am not making these payments for a 1 year or 2 year, 3 year. It is a long-term 15-20 years investment that I'm doing. So that's why he suggested a lot of mutual equity funding and all of that. So that's
just to share my background, I have close to 23 years of experience in capital markets. Right. So I've seen everything coming our way in last 23 years.
Absolutely.
So होता क्या, जो जिन्होंने 1 साल 1.5 साल 2 साल पहले इन्वेस्टमेंट शुरू किया ना, उनके लिए ये पहली टर्बुलेंट जर्नी है. So they get scared out of it कि यार मेरा पोर्टफोलियो नेगेटिव हो गया, ऐसे हो गया. So हमारा काम पैसा बनाना नहीं है, पैसा तो बनेगा ही बनेगा, हमारा काम है हैंड.
So I liked that one statement that he made कि madam, do you have any reservations that the market will not cross 75,000 in the next 2 years? आपको लगता है नहीं जाएगा 75,000? नहीं, 100% जाएगा. Do you have any reservations that in 4-5 years it will not cross 1 lakh? नहीं बिल्कुल जाएगा. Because then तो you will be making money, no? For short term आपका भले ही वो red दिखाए portfolio, but in the long term you will be making money. So
चैलेंज ये है कि 25,000 या 50,000 जाने से पहले वो नीचे कहाँ आएगा?
सर वही टेस्टिंग टाइम होता है. इनफैक्ट
I see it's coming down heavily in next 3-4 months. मतलब 12-13,000 का लेवल दिखा सकता है.
देखो, what I feel is 15,000 should be the rock bottom. उसके नीचे नहीं जाना चाहिए. जो चार्ट
समीर जी आप देखिए, मतलब I feel 12,800 जरूर दिखाएगा.
देखते हैं सर. Let's see. चलो कोई बात नहीं. Let's move to the Amresh जी. I'm sorry मैंने आपको थोड़ा
sorry sir, we went out of the track क्योंकि पैसा लगा हुआ है, टेंशन होती है लाल देख के.
नहीं, और मैं आपको बताऊं कि अभी जो करंट सिनेरियो मैंने देखा है और जो इन्वेस्टमेंट हमने करवाए हैं, छोटे शहरों में जो बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी है ना, वो बहुत ज्यादा खुल के आ रही है. You can still see that Amazon, Flipkart, ये सब ना अभी तक उन शहर में नहीं पहुंच पाए हैं जहाँ पे बिजनेस एक्सपैंड किया जा सकता है, ग्रोथ किया जा सकता है. पहले जो मॉल्स था that was limited with the big cities. अब छोटे शहरों में मॉल्स खुलते जा रहे हैं क्योंकि ऑनलाइन नेटवर्क जहाँ फैली है, वहां पे लोगों ने क्या किया, छोटे डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन पे छोटे शहरों में अपनी ऑनलाइन नेटवर्किंग बनाई है, अपने चैनल्स बनाए हैं. तो अब ऐसा
सिनेरियो बढ़ गया है अमरीश जी. एस्पिरेशनल वैल्यू जो टियर 2 सिटीज का है ना, वो बहुत बढ़ गया है. नाउ टियर 2 सिटीज आर एस्पायरिंग टू बिकम टियर 1. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ सिटीज. आप लखनऊ में चले जाइए. लखनऊ में इफ यू गो टू लखनऊ एंड रांची, आपको लगेगा नहीं कि आप लखनऊ या रांची जैसे शहर में है. यू विल फील लाइक यू आर इन दिल्ली. दैट काइंड ऑफ एस्पिरेशन these cities are having. You look at Visakhapatnam. I mean, Visakhapatnam, I'm getting the maximum traction for my recent job. And if you see the kind of people there, our ticket size, mera current job mein jo ticket size hai for one hair transplant, it's about 3 lakh rupees. And I am getting overflow of queries from Visakhapatnam, a small city like Visakhapatnam. वहां से इतने लोगों के पास aspirational value है that they want to go for a treatment which costs 3 lakh, which otherwise would generally only be available in probably New Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, and areas like that, right?
सही बात.
So ये आप एकदम सही बोल रहे हैं अमरीश जी, that the aspirational value has grown. Tier 2 cities are coming up with huge, brilliant business opportunities. If you see Shark Tank India, उसमें आपका 60% of majority of the pitches were made by tier 2 people, tier 2, and tier 3 people.
And right? we are coming up with around 300 real estates, you know, VCs.
Very nice.
And I had a very good interaction with a few people. They were very much interested in sustainable development in small cities. So they have done a good research for the India, and they were not saying that no, we don't want to invest in Mumbai, Delhi. Absolutely. We want to invest.
I'll give you a very small example, Amresh, if you give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
There, if you know about Bihar ka staple food is litti chokha, right?
Yeah.
There, I know of a person from Franchise India. He started something called Sattu's Cafe with sattus, okay, and he invented a complete portfolio on sattu, packaged sattu, which you can just do mix it into water and it can become a drink. Then he has sattu ke basis pe he has about 20-25 different menus, and he just started the first Sattu's Cafe, and that also not on his own. He started it with inside a hospital. पहला outlet open कर लिया, he's already had 10 franchise offers. So just imagine the kind of traction that tier 2, this kind of small business models are getting today. जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको एक Zara और Titan और Tanishq का ही showroom खोलना है तभी franchisee होगा. The whole concept of franchisee has changed. I'll give you another example. हम लोगों ने सबने बचपन में रेडी से खाना खाया होगा, correct? That street food that we call, still street food is so popular. Somebody started in the COVID phase, somebody started a cart which gives automatic pani puri. Now pani puri is something which is extremely special to Indian women, but in the COVID phase they were not able to eat because of the hygiene issues and because of not many other infection related problems. So he started something. The person is called the brand is called Pani Puri. Pani Puri, like online, like you have e-commerce. He named his cart as Pani Puri, and that cart sells on its own. There is nothing that no person is required to make the Pani Puri. It's a self-mechanized cart. You punch in money and you get the entire Pani Puri with the imli ki chutney, with the green. With that digestive pudina juice stuffed into it, and you get it out on a plate and you just have to take it and eat it. As simple as that. So people in tier 2 cities are using local business models, local things that are popular, and taking them on the national or global level. So tier 2 ko explore karna is extremely important. And aapka, I think 60% of your business models come from tier 2 these days.
Yeah, when we started this chamber from Lucknow, people were saying that chamber should be started from Mumbai and Delhi, but we said no, we are going to start from Lucknow because Lucknow is doing extremely well. We have everything in Lucknow these days.
Acha, you are from Lucknow, is it?
Yeah, I'm from Lucknow.
Oh, I'm coming to Lucknow in May because of my IIM Lucknow ka convocation. So it's the convocation ceremony, and I have to give the valedictorian speech. So I will be traveling to Lucknow. I will like to catch up with you once I travel.
Definitely, we have done few sessions in IIM Lucknow as well. So Devasi sir is connected with us.
Acha, okay.
So we will definitely meet. Yeah, any more question?
Yeah, Amresh, this Paddy here.
Yeah, go on, please.
Yeah, good morning to everyone. And I'm Paddy, I'm from Bangalore. First of all, Rimjhim ji, thank you for such a a wonderful presentation, and I think you took us to different areas as well. Um, of course, I mean, you talked about business consulting. So I have a question around that. When you जब आपने बोला कि business consulting में आप help करती हैं, and also you, I mean, this is, I don't know, I mean, pardon me if I'm interpreting it wrongly, but you are helping businesses to invest also as a business consulting, not as an investment of wealth management or portfolio management, but investing into businesses which will actually get you revenue and profit, may be profitable.
Yes, so as I said, Paddy, I work as an intermediary. So I work as a platform. I am connected to people who want to invest money. I am connected to people who want money to be invested into them. So I cater to demands of both the sections. So I may have, like, tomorrow Samir ji might come and tell me, Rimjhim, my business is doing very well. I have extra 10 lakh rupees. Please tell me, what should I start? So I will tell him, okay, this is something that you can invest in right now. This is a good business model. Or else I can tell him something else, that you start a business of your own that will give you better returns than investing in somebody else's business. So that side of the business also I cater. And I also cater to the startup side, where the startups come to me and ask me, what is it that I should do next for my growth? Should I go the franchise model? Because not every startup is made for franchise. Not every startup is made for distribution. Not every startup is made for affiliate partnerships. So that kind of growth projection for them, that this is where I want to reach in the next 5 years. So the easiest and the best possible way for them to reach there in the best 5 years is what I consult. So I cater to both ends of the business segment. I hope that answered your question, Paddy.
Yeah, it did. Thank you so much. And, and yeah, and I think that's important. So let me get my thoughts together. I might contact you sometime. And
sure, anytime. I've left my LinkedIn ID, I've left my email ID.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Please reach out to me. No problem.
Yeah, really nice profile, and I like your passion for sales. So I am from communications and marketing, and I would never do that. So that's the reason I can connect with what you're saying.
Right.
So, yeah, thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you, Penny, for listening.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we are already running out of time, so Rimjhim has already requested to have a 45 minutes, as Alok has said me. So I would like to invite Alok to conclude the meeting.
Yes.
And thank you everyone for joining us.
Is always right. I don't know why. Actually, okay, fine. Let me end it up, because I guess she has just 5 minutes to go, or hardly 3 minutes to go. So it's a pleasure to, see you actually after a long time, because we know each other since very long. So I know her providing, and the way she works is really amazing, and very, very calculative thoughts she has. Because for 2-3 projects, I was only interested, but due to some, scenarios and all, it just went off, and there was a COVID as well. So yes, I still remember the mistletoe plans. So your work is already done. It'll be a very great surprise to you when in the month of April for this. So if you are there in that plan still, okay. So rest. I hope the connections with Rimjhim was really good, Mr. Aditya and all. I hope everyone appreciated the way she has the the knowledge, and and she can be one of the greatest mentor for everyone, as she has been mentoring me. Yes, and I guess I'll be the first client for you, personal client, right, for my startup. So very soon, I'll once you get free, we'll have a great session. I embrace you. Okay, the project is already been done, and so I wanted to share with you a long time, but all time and March, it's like it's picking up, right? So okay, fine. Let's hope that everyone has a a fruitful journey together, and let's resource to get a bigger resource, as I always say. So with this note, I would like to just end it, and wish everyone a happy Sunday.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alok. It was a pleasure. And I'm glad that I became a part of this community because of you. And I hope that the kind of interaction that we share is the kind of interaction that I've managed to share with the remaining group as well. I am.
Yeah, you are the same. I found you the same. So always
I personally believe in growing and learning together. So it's not like I am a mentor and you are a mentee. There are things that I can learn from you and vice versa. So it's all about growing and learning together. So I firmly believe in that. And I firmly believe in enriching myself through this association and contribute whatever manner I can contribute.
So thank you, everyone. We had a wonderful time with Rimjhim ji. And next Sunday, we will be coming up with the newest speaker and a good news for you all. So 2 big banks of United States, they are collaborating with us, and 2 more associations.
I'll share with you.
Yeah, they have already collaborated with us, but as our senior vice president will be coming on, 4th of April from California. So we will have a good time together, and we will officially announce the names of all the associations that we are going to have. So by the month of April, we will be crossing 1,000 members in IFBIC, and most of them will be from United States and India. So that's all a good news for you all. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Amresh, just one thing. Should I book tickets for 4th April or 5th April?
You should book for 4th, 5th.
Anyways, I will reach on 4th. No problem. I will come on 4th because I will come by Shatabdi, so we'll likely to reach there by...
come by 5 because on 4 evenings he will be coming here.
So, take 5th, I will reach around 1:30 Lucknow Junction.
Okay.
Fine. Perfect. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
So thank you, Rimjhim ji. Thank you for sharing your time with us. We will have a meeting again. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.